everyone, and welcome to my new Mike's mini series. So very quickly before we start, basically, I teach 3D modeling, animation, game design type stuff at a UK university. And about 3 years ago, I made the switch to Blender from 3ds Max, and I've been teaching that ever since. And every year I get the same questions, the same kind of new round of students saying, never used 3D modeling before, never done this, never do that. So I kind of find myself always making these tutorials and lab sheets and stuff, which is great. But I figured, why not just kind of make a mini series that I can point my students to help them cover some of the basics and gain confidence in 3D modeling and Blender, because I feel that's really important. And then the community can learn from that, or maybe just one person can kind of go, oh, this is good, this has helped me, and that would be ideal. So this is by no means like a perfect tutorial. It's by no means the best tutorial. There are a ton of different tutorials out there that are amazing if you know exactly what you want to make. If you're like, I want to make a car, or I want to make a prop for a game or something like that, and you have an understanding of how 3D works, then go do those. They're really good. This is more about, well, I've never modeled before, I've never used Blender before, I don't really know what I'm doing, and we're just going to go through basically some of the common things that some of my students have thrown at me over the years, and going to cover some of the things that I kind of teach. So in this tutorial, we're going to be using the newest version of Blender to date, which is 4.4, but if you have an older version, that's absolutely fine. As long as your UI looks something like this, then we're going to get along absolutely fine. And we're going to try and make a robotic arm. You kind of see them in like sci-fi movies in labs and stuff, and there's kind of a famous one in Iron Man that he has, and we're by no means going that technical. We're just going to cover sort of the basic modeling components and unwrapping, texturing, a little bit of animation, just so that you understand kind of the principles of how they work, so that you can then start looking for more advanced sort of tutorials and start demonstrating and exploring yourself. So hopefully you've got a splash screen that kind of looks like this. This is actually the first time I've opened it up, which is why it's asking for this. Unless, of course, you're listening in a different language or working in a different language, or you despise the dark theme, you can change it to light if you want. All of these types of things, you don't need to worry about this. You can just click off here, and let's get started in our next video.